Over the weekend, a Syrian government jet bombed U.S.-backed fighters called the Syrian Democratic Forces. Basically, what had happened was that Syrian government forces were advancing west to east towards the Euphrates River Valley and encountered a contingent of U.S.-backed fighters. Fighting broke out. The U.S. tried to deconflict, or basically tampen down the fighting by using the deconfliction line, talking through the Russians, who's Syria's main ally in the conflict, and telling the Syrians to stop. These are U.S.-backed forces.
For the last 8 months, we worked on deconfliction with the Russian Federation and pro-regime forces through the Russians. The purpose was to make sure that our air crews were safe, to make sure our personnel on the ground were safe, and to make sure we could prosecute the Defeat ISIS campaign in Syria.
Basically, 2 hours later, after that initial call for deconfliction, in between that call and the bombing, U.S. fighters came in low, kind of what's called a show of force. And then at around 6 p.m. local time, a Syrian government jet showed up into the airspace overhead where there was fighting earlier. And basically, these two U.S. jets came alongside trying to ensure that the Syrian jet didn't do anything also. Again, this is from Pentagon officials. And the jet went into a dive, dropped bombs on the Syrian fighters that the U.S. is supporting. And after that, one U.S. jet fired a series of missiles that shot down the Syrian jet. It remains to be seen how this is going to affect U.S.-Russia relations. I mean, there's kind of a pattern right after the cruise missile strikes in April, where we hit the airfield that had housed Syrian aircraft that had participated in a gas attack in Aleppo province. Russia threatened to turn off the deconfliction line, basically take a number of steps indicating a more hostile posture, but again, that seemed to be more words than anything else, and we kind of returned to status quo in the months since. So really, that could happen here. I mean, we really don't know. That's the next day, and we'll just have to see.